fiction, science fiction, horror, fantasy, crime, LGBT, thriller.
You have now entered the House of Mystery with your hosts, Eric Shapiro, David North Martino, John Copenhaver, and Al Warren. On KCW 106.5 FM Los Angeles,
102.3 FM Riverside,
and 105.0 AM Palm Springs.
Tommy on a warm spring eve sat outside the Bullers with his long brown hair and a twinkle in his eye. Well, I'm a fisherman, he said, I work out in deep water. The fishing life's the one that gets me by. I then saw Tommy on a summer's eve sat outside the Bullers with his long brown hair and a twinkle in his eye. Well, the fishing's dead round here, he said, we've got to steam out further, but I'll be back to see you by and by. Sail away, boy, sail away from your sisters and your mothers. Sail away, boy, sail away to sea. Sail away, boy, sail away from your children and your lovers. Sail away, boy, sail away with your band of brothers. I met with Tommy on an autumn eve, sat outside the Bullers with his long brown hair and a twinkle in his eye. Well, the weather's rough and the wind is west, but one good trip will pay our debts. Then I'm gonna leave this fishing life behind. Sail away, boy, sail away from your sisters and your mothers. Sail away, boy, sail away to sea. Sail away, boy, sail away from your children and your lovers. Sail away, boy, sail away with your band of brothers. I wait for news on Christmas Eve, sat inside the Bullers. The fire was warm, but my heart was cold as ice. The boat is gone, no word for days. They just picked up the EPO. The lifeboat's out there looking for them still. Back to the Bullers from the service in the graveyard, cold and bare. We said goodbye to him that day, I'll never love another.
to see.
boys sail away to sea. Sail away, boys, sail away from your children and your lovers. Sail away, boys, sail away with your band of brothers.
Welcome back in the House of Mystery, and I am Al Warren. Now, long time no see. Miss Julie Savills here today, all the way from the UK.
It's evening, afternoon, or morning, Al, depending on where your listeners are. But yeah, good to be back. Really good to be back. Thrilled. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has.
I mean, I think you were in Cyprus last time.
Did you know? I think I'd just come back, Al. Actually, I think I just returned to the UK from a stint in Cyprus because I remember being here to actually do the interview for the guys we're interviewing tonight before. So that's really good. So it would have been a good couple of years ago now, maybe 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, pretty solid. Okay, so we've got lots of music coming on, and we've got a returning band. Now, they call themselves Jolly Roger, and they've got a new new musical release here, and so we're going to talk about that. So let's welcome the band to the show. Thanks for being here, guys.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having us, man.
It's really good to see you guys again, and you've done so many exciting things since we last spoke. But for the listeners, let's crack on with introducing who you are to those people who may have missed miserably. They shouldn't have missed, but they may have missed that last interview. So introduce over to you. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, what you do, and your role in the group.
Cool, we're Jolly Roger. I'm Samantha, Lady of the Seas, my pirate name. I play mandolin, guitar and sing as well. There's two of us here today. There's another two that we can never find really, so we didn't really ask them. That's
the truth. Isn't that the truth?
We need to start putting a tracker on them. We've been talking about this.
Good plan.
And Kynan's with me as well.
I am bosun. And we're a pirate folk punk outfit from Cornwall in the UK.
But saying you're from Cornwall, that may have been where you originated from, and where the ideas have all kind of stemmed from, and a lot of your songs are based on kind of the folk shanty, mixing with a bit of rock and punk. And I think that, but you're all over the place now. I mean, you've gone from being very local to being global. Is it almost there? Is it?
No, we've done a few other countries. We did some pirate festivals. We did Festival Medieval in Selb in Germany in September, and that was amazing. The amount of thought and effort that goes into putting that festival together and making it look so like a different world, stepping back in time. They didn't have electricity really there in the night time. Everything was lit by candlelight. There were like blacksmiths there doing work, and it was just wonderful. So we were there and we won a Golden Gnome. We did a competition for newcomer bands, and they've invited us back next year to play on their main stage, which is really exciting. And because we went over to do that festival, we did our first European tour and played in a few venues on the way there and on the way back, and we're planning to go back again next year. So we've started to go a little bit further and further afield, and we've recently been we're currently on an on tour in England with Fire Jam Productions, with a couple of our friends' bands that we've started to form a family with that we love to bits. And so yeah, we're doing our first kind of headline England tour at the minute, and we've also been supporting Ferocious Dog, who are an amazing folk punk band from England too. So we're starting to do bigger venues in different places, and we're really enjoying it. The growth is wonderful.
You had a dream, guys, didn't you, to get to Glastonbury, and you achieved that this year. So tell us a little bit about that. Tell us how that felt.
Yeah, we when we very first started the band, Samantha asked me when we first decided to do music together, really, Samantha asked me, because we're a couple, she asked me what I wanted to achieve, and I said I wanted to travel around the world, having music pay for it, and I wanted to go to music festivals for free. That was pretty much my goal. and one of them was Glastonbury, to have Glastonbury. So she made me up. I've actually got it here, weirdly. I've got it in front of me. I know this is an audio interview, but she made me up a Glastonbury poster with our band name on it as like a visualization experience, and we had it on the wall. And then this year we got to play Glastonbury for the first time. We did 4 shows when we were there, did we, or 3?
We did 3 gigs when we were there, and we just worked really, really hard making connections, trying to find any way in possible, really. And we ended up learning through Fire Jam Productions of a company that runs a bar in Glastonbury. So we applied to work there for our tickets, and we did lots of hours behind the bar and knackered ourselves out completely, and then kind of got through the gigs. No, it was great.
You get in there any way you can.
It was really good. We've been invited back to a few stages next year, so fingers crossed we'll be back to Glastonbury again. But that was a huge milestone for us as a band, and we continue to dream big and aim high, and then try and figure out how to get there. And it's just a lot of hard work, a lot of gigs, a lot of sorting things out and wondering how you're going to finance the next kind of idea that you've got, and just keeping the vision and the dream and remembering why you're doing it, and enjoying the moments that you can when you're on stage playing in front of people that are having a good time, and building that fan base that have become a community and almost an extended family to us now as 4 individuals that are in the band. And that keeps me going when I'm tired and I'm not feeling too well. Like, having people there that I know are having a great time is what keeps me doing it in those hard times, and the support we get from them and our family is just wonderful.
And we've had COVID between the times that we've interviewed, and in that time you continue to support local music and bands by live streaming for those people that were following you, and really advocating for music, the music industry, for more local bands that are really struggling to kind of get out there and get their music heard. And you continue to do that right the way through, which was no mean feat, given the circumstances and how the lockdowns affected the music industry and localised bands. So fair play. You continue to do that. And when you were last on, we were talking a little bit about your music. We played a few songs. I know that Al has got your new song to play later on. And I think that when we were talking through, one of the things that came really, really strongly across with you guys and your values is about social justice, understanding and respecting culture, and really trying to keep those cultures alive and recognise the vulnerabilities in people. Mm-hmm. So some of your songs are about loss. Some of them are about hope. Some of them are about dreaming big. Some of them are good fun shanties about having a few too many, etc. Mm-hmm. And that combination has really grown, hasn't it? So as you've come through, you've maintained your core values, which some people would lose along the way. So you've consistently raised money for different charities or organisations. So we spoke a little bit previously about Silent Mountain. We played Silent Mountain on the last interview, and how all the proceeds that you're raising for went to sudden adult death syndrome, then to SADS, and now you've brought out your new Band of Brothers track, which again is raising money for another organisation, which we'll come on to in a little bit. What keeps that alive for you? What keeps you on that trajectory of your following your core values? Because it'd be really easy to get lost in other stuff. Yeah. But you don't. You maintain true to who you are. So what keeps you there?
I think it's just the stuff that we want to do, really. It's just always what we wanted out of this, is that we've never strayed away from it, because all of the other side of this industry is sort of, well, I guess it's yet to inspire us. We're more inspired by what we have been doing and what we're going to continue to do, especially when it comes to helping and working with certain charities and trying to raise money for people that need help. That's me anyway. What were you going to say? Sorry.
As much as we're a pirate band, we still want to be ourselves as individuals and be able to connect and be relatable to people that come to us and listen to our music. And if that helps people that are going through similar things like loss or like mental health issues or struggles in that way, or whether they just need to get out and have a good time, we want to be able to connect with our audience. And these are the things that I've gone through personally with my family in Silent Mountain. We lost Chris, and they asked us if we would write a song, and of course we would. We wanted to be there for the launch of the boat, but talking about that and talking about loss and writing songs around that and then playing them at gigs, I think it gives comfort to people that have gone through similar experiences. And the same with this new song as well. Is another thing that's directly impacted our family and our close communities, that is about loss. And although it's about a certain type of loss in this instant, everyone can relate to that. Everyone goes through that, and everybody has breakups, or everyone has family members that pass away. So being true and doing songs with a purpose is really important to me, and bringing the human element to our music. It makes it more meaningful, and you get so much back as well when you're talking about those kind of topics and keeping it real, and then balancing it with obviously the fun side of partying as well, which everybody needs that release. So I think our sets and our music have this journey and show what we care about, and that's what I love when I listen to music. I like to hear music that comes from the heart. I like to hear music that's meaningful, and then other times I like to hear music that just I want to go and have a little dance and a drink to, and I hope we can give all of that to somebody, you know. And
also showing consistency and being non-polarizing is something that we stick with and will always stick with, because the whole point of this is to get as many people from as many different walks of life in one room to have a good night. And we're living in an age at the moment where there's so much division. In the UK, in the United States, when you can get everyone in a room together that has different political views, different religious views, and they're all focused on one thing and they're all coming together to work for one purpose, then it creates a nicer atmosphere than having a load of people that are arguing about what football team they support.
Yeah, we like to be, we like everyone to feel safe at our gigs. We like everyone to feel welcome at our gigs. So yeah, that's about being relatable in that sense with our music too.
Yeah.
So you said this new track is slightly different in terms of loss, but actually loss is about somebody going and not returning. There's something missing in your life. You lose something physically. So tell me a little bit about the background and what led up to this track.
So I first heard this track a few years ago now. It's my Auntie Dorian's song. She wrote it. And I first heard her playing it. I think it was at one of her gigs or an open mic in a pub with a few other people there. And it just got stuck in my head. I thought it was an amazing song with such meaning behind it. And I kept singing it. I wanted to cover it one day myself. And it felt right because we are a pirate band. We sing songs about the sea and stuff like that, to kind of take it on and give what we can to this song. So it's she lost her partner's best friend, was a skipper on a boat called the Margarita Maria, and that went out from Newlyn, which is near our hometown where you live. And unfortunately it didn't come back, and that was in 1997. And the same person that she wrote the song about was actually my cousin's dad at the time. And so he was affected by the loss of that boat too. And we all knew about it as a family, and I knew about it then. And then hearing Dorian, my auntie, sing a song about the same thing, it really touched my heart. So it means a lot to us in that respect. And the more we learn about the fishing industry and how dangerous it is as a profession and what comes with that, and we've been and spoken to people in Newlyn in the community, and we spoke to the Fisherman's Mission, who's the charity that we're raising money for, the more it just felt like right to do this song and team up with them to raise money for the support that they provide fishermen and their families when a boat goes missing, or whether they're suffering from financial difficulties or mental health issues and things like that. They seem to stand for similar things to us, and looking after the people that were affected by what happens in this song.
I think it's probably quite important for our listeners that are across Canada and the US to really help them understand what our fishing community is like here. So, I mean, we live in a relatively small county that is, although it takes a good painstaking couple of hours to get from one end to the other to get out of the county, it's actually quite insular in terms of communities, and it's heavily reliant on the fishing industry, which means going out in all weathers, various size boats in order to sell fish to make a living. And it is one of the most dangerous professions there is. And when tragedy strikes, it really does strike and affects not just a crew, but the family and the extended family and whole communities here.
Yeah.
And many songs have been written about those communities. How important to you all is the sense of community, both in the band, in your hometowns? Tell us how that impacts on you and your music.
Well, we're building a community. That's what we do. That's what we want. So it goes back to what I was saying earlier about being non-polarizing. I mean, having grown up in, I grew up in Penzance, which is next to Newlyn, and it's a place where it's a small town at the bottom of Cornwall, right at the very end of the country, where everyone knows everyone and everyone helps everyone and everyone looks after everyone. And when you sort of move out of a place like that, you start to realize that it's not like that everywhere. But we're trying to build that. I mean, we have an actual community. We have a community group on Facebook, which has 1,000, 1,500 members, of all people that just want to like support each other, and all sorts of posts happen on there. But yeah, it's definitely very important. What do you think?
I think as well, coming from a small village where the sense of community is really ingrained and important, when events like this do happen, it does have a ripple effect in the moods of small villages. It changes and everybody does come together and are affected, and even if they're not directly affected, they're affected in some way, or they know somebody around them that has been affected by things like this. So when fishing boats do go missing, for example, it has a huge effect on the community, and being able to do a song that speaks about that, hopefully it provides comfort to some of those people and or celebrates in some way the lives of the people that were lost and keeps their memory going.
Mm-hmm.
So the aim is to raise funds for the Fishermen's Mission. So tell us a little bit about that charity.
Yeah, so
how do they support?
Fishermen's Mission go out into communities and they provide support 24/7, 365 days a year. If there's something that happens or a fisherman needs their help, they're hands-on. They've got offices around the coasts of the whole of the UK. And they do a fantastic job of supporting fishermen. And like my cousin's family, him and his mum, after they lost Robbie, they got help themselves from the Fishermen's Mission. And they said that they were a great charity and that they're really happy that we've teamed up and we're supporting them with this release in particular.
They also have no government support. They're not a supported charity in the UK. So they are purely run through fundraising. And I've actually got some facts from the Fishermen's Mission in front of me as to why their job is so important. So on average, some of these facts are just staggering. Some of these statistics, on average, one fisherman is killed every 6 weeks on average.
Wow.
It's the most dangerous peacetime activity in the UK is fishing. They are within reach day or night all year round. So they are a 24-hour service, which is incredible. One fishing vessel is lost every 20 days. Like it was shocking when, I mean, we obviously growing up in, around fishing villages, we knew that it was always dangerous, and we've been given and told stories of vessels lost at sea, and there's obviously like the Solomon Brown, which is one that's spoken about that's affected our entire community where we come from. You obviously know about that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but once we were given these stats, we sat down and spoke to the Fisherman's Mission. It was just such a shock to everyone, and everyone on our team were just like, it's unreal how dangerous this job is, and people need to do it. If they don't go out to sea, they don't make money. So they can't survive. If you don't catch anything, if you don't go out and work, you don't get sick pay or anything. So it's a tough job, and this is definitely the right charity to support.
So in doing so, to make sure that the charity had maximum impact with your song, you've developed an amazing video. Tell us about how that came about and how much fun was that to do.
This video is slightly different to anything we've done before. It's got a cinematic feel. We wanted it to be real. We wanted it to tell the story of somebody that's been left behind when they've lost somebody. We wanted the song to be there and then to show what it's like in Newlyn. It was filmed in Newlyn by our friend Judah Matt from Fire Jam Productions. And the way it's come out, the story, and also some of the members of the community in Newlyn, the fishing community, were also involved in the video, and they're in it as well. We just wanted it to reflect the life there and of somebody that lives there and something that's happened. So it's completely different to anything we've done. We're not in it at all. It's not about us as a band, the music video. It's about the people. So that was a big change for us. We spent a lot of time and a lot of thought behind making sure it was sensitive, making sure it had emotion in it, making sure it conveyed and it did the song justice. And I'm glad that Auntie Dorian let us use the song, and thankfully she likes what we've done with it, which was a relief. But yeah, I think it works really well. I'm really excited for everybody to see it. It's coming out
tomorrow
on Friday, the 16th of December.
Oh, Friday.
On our pages and YouTube, and the Fisherman's Mission will share it as well. So it's different for us. We took some risks with it, but I think it's paid off, and we're really excited to share it.
It sounds phenomenal. We'll come to that in a moment, because I will play that following the interview to make sure that everyone else has the opportunity to listen also. But before we come to that kind of the end, what I would like to find out is what's next for you guys, because you're so aspirational. You've got so many visions of where you want to go. What's next?
We're going to take over the world.
A good plan. Not a bad plan.
No, we've got a lot of
optimism.
We've got a lot of stuff lined up for next year. But as we all know, with the music industry, we have to keep it secret.
Some of it's secret.
Yeah, we're working on a new album. We're working on a new album at the moment. We've got a few songs ready for a new album, and they are fun. Very fun.
Good.
And we've got a few tours planned, and we're talking to some other people for involvement in other tours too, with other bands, which is very exciting. But that's all I can say. I'm terrible at keeping secrets, Julie. I'm really bad at it.
I'll work on both of you then to try and get you.
I'll tell you off air. All right.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so can you tell us one line each from Band of Brothers that impacts you every time you sing it or play it?
The leave this fishing life behind line.
Yeah.
That's the line that makes the song, for me, that's the line that makes the whole song really, really sad, because the person that's being sung about, and actually that particular line was put in by Dan Tolch, who's Dorian's brother and Samantha's stepdad. He put that line in because one of his friends, who's a musician, sang that line in another song. I think they were doing a parody song of something, and he said, "I'm going to kiss this trawler life goodbye," or something. And that person also went out on a boat and didn't come back. Wow. When someone's planning on quitting and they have to go out and do it anyway, and then it goes wrong.
Money.
Yeah, it's sad. What about you?
I think there's a line in it which set after the fishing boat goes down, and they're trying to find it, and then the person that's singing the song says, I'll never love another, like after the funeral kind of memorial has taken place in the song. And I think that it's just a bit of the song that, it's like that bit of grief when you're kind of angry, but you're also like determined and you're sad, and it just, it brings all of those emotions together. And it's like, of course, people can move on and love different people, but never in that same way that they love that particular person. And that bit gets me in that song, definitely.
Also, as a cheeky side note for the listeners, there is a line in the song that says they just picked up the EPIRB, and for anyone who's not au fait with nautical words, EPIRB is an emergency position indicating radio beacon, which is the thing that they set off when a boat goes down, so you can be found. So it's just a little bit of trivia.
Cool. Okay, I was thinking of getting one for my boat, and I'm thinking now that I take both of your mums out in my boat.
Yeah, you do definitely get an EPIRB.
Nautical competition. Maybe I need to get one.
Please get an EPIRB.
I've got a radio flashes.
Yeah, congratulations.
So, okay.
Your gig club. We're very proud to be
It's
sponsors.
amazing.
And
Thank you. It's a real pleasure.
Growing it one time.
Yes, please.
Yes. I think that you were thinking of the Boxing Day row, Samantha, so you're going to have to try and get out in that one. So Boxing Day morning row.
Yeah, I will. I'm convincing my mum, because I'm with mum that day, so as long as she'll row with me, then I'm in.
So just for the listeners' sake, boats all come in all shapes and sizes, and Silent Mountain, the boat that was built on built by monies raised by Sam's aunt was basically called Silent Mountain after a relative, Chris, who died of SADS, and it's a gig boat. It's a six oar boat. So now I have my own boat, and I take both Kynan and Samantha's mums out rowing, which is brilliant. And it's how the world turns, isn't it? But I absolutely love rowing with them. It's brilliant. So let's come back to you though, because you are the important people in this interview. So we're going to. I want more and more people to follow you guys. I want you to have the opportunity to get over to the States and do your stuff there, because I think we already know from your community group there's a whole wealth of pirates over there just waiting to welcome you. So let's think about how can people contact you? How can people join your groups?
Just send us $5,000.
Find us on Facebook. Definitely find us on our Facebook. Is our strongest promotional tool for the international.
We've also got our website up to date now, jollywaterbanduk.co.uk.
But anyone can message us over the Facebook. That's absolutely, we love getting messages over the Facebook.
We'll reply to everybody.
We always reply. And yeah, share it about. The song, this song in particular is I get to unashamedly promote and say how good this song is because we didn't write it. So I don't have to be I don't have to be as British as I normally am about that work. I can sit here and say the song is amazing. It is an amazing song. So yeah, share it around, send it to your mates.
It's also one of the first songs that we've recorded with our guitarist Steve, who now we've got on electric guitar. So that brings another element to our sound too that we're really enjoying exploring. And he brings something completely different than we've had before. So that features in this song. He does an amazing solo in it, and that's
I've heard
new and exciting.
It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It is an amazing sound, and when I watched before, and it was phenomenal. So well done, everybody.
Cool. So last night we did a launch event at the Red Lion in Newlyn, and a lot of the community came down, including my cousin and his daughter Josie Ann. So Jolyn and Josie Ann Williams came down. They've been in the music video, and I just wanted to thank them for being involved in this project, and also obviously a huge thank you to my auntie Dorian for writing the song, and for Fire Jam Productions for doing such a wonderful job of putting together the music video. There's also, alongside the music video, we did a stories behind the song thing, and this is interviewing Dorian, interviewing Dan, interviewing Jolyn, about them talking about the meaning behind the song from their perspective, what it means to them, talking about their connection with us, and also the Fisherman's Mission features on that too. And a big thank you to Mike Dale and Julian from the Fisherman's Mission for their support with promoting the single with us, and being such wonderful people to work with on it. So that the stories behind the song short film will be out in the future. We don't have an exact release date for it yet, but we did show it last night at the launch, and it was a very emotional, teary experience, but also a really nice way to celebrate the lives of those people that have been lost. So yeah, I'm really excited for people to be able to see that when it comes out, and more information we'll give about when that's coming out on our website and Facebook pages.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sam, and lots of thanks. Well placed. Thank you. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really great to catch up with you. I'm sure all the listeners will come over and have a look at you on Facebook. You're not like some groups. You put all of your music out there for people to look at and see, and your videos. So do you have a donate button so that people can donate to the Fisherman's Mission?
There's the song itself is actually being hosted on their website, which is fishermansmission.co.uk. They have a shop on there, which is called the Fish Market, and it's you can navigate through the shop, and the single is the first item on the shop. I think it's £2 English.
Yeah, or you can,
which is absolutely nothing, is it?
No, it's bugger all.
We've also got a few physical CDs. If you like one of those, just message us and we can send them out. And we've got some key rings as well, which has a QR code to the music video if you'd like own copy of that. And it's got the song on it, and it's got some artwork and information about the Fisherman's Mission and the song as well. So there's a few ways that we're getting out. There's also going to be, I'm going to tell, this is an exclusive piece of information for you that we haven't told anyone yet. Okay. We're going to be releasing a live version of Band of Brothers as well. It's featured on the CD, on the physical copy, but that's going to be coming out soon as well, with a video of us playing it live.
Fantastic. We're really looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Wish the other guys all the best from all of us. And sorry you couldn't find them. But being in the know, I know how difficult that is. So
the website,
so thank you.
Fisherman's Mission, is fishermansmission.org.uk.
Okay.
Brilliant, lovely, and I'm sure that Al will put that up on the website as well, so that people can go straight to Al's website and see it as well, and a direct link. It's always helpful, isn't it? So thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and to everyone listening, just get out there, buy the single, make sure you're listening, donating to Fisherman's Mission, and raising awareness for the fishing community and those who have lost loved ones or left. People have been left behind through tragedy. Thank you both very much.
Julie. Thank you, Alan. That was amazing. Thanks for having us.
I first met Tommy on a warm spring eve. Sat outside the Pullers with his long brown hair and a twinkle in his eye. Well, I'm a fisherman, he said. I work out in deep water. The fishing life's the one that gets me by. I then saw Tommy on a summer's eve, sat outside the Pullers with his long brown hair and a twinkle in his eye. Well, the fishing's dead round here, he said. We've got to steam out further, but I'll be back to see you by and by. Sail away, boy, sail away from your sisters and your mothers. Sail away, boy, sail away. sail away from your children and your lovers. Sail away, boys, sail away with your bands of brothers. I met with Tommy on an autumn eve, sat outside the Bullers with his long brown hair and a twinkle in his eye. Well, the weather's rough and the wind is west, but one good trip will pay our debts. Then I'm gonna leave this fishing life behind. Sail away, boys, sail away from your sisters and your mothers. Sail away, boys, sail away to sea. Sail away, boys, sail away from your children and your lovers. Sail away, boys, sail away with your bands of brothers. I wait for news on Christmas Eve, sat inside the Bullers. The fire was warm but my heart was cold as ice. The boat is gone, no word for days. They just picked up the EPO. The lifeboat's out there looking for them still. The Bullers from the service in the graveyard, cold and bare. We said goodbye to him that day. I'll never love another. Sisters and your mothers, sail away, boys, sail away to sea. Sail away, boys, sail away from your children and your lovers. Sail away, boys, sail away with your band of brothers.
You've been listening to the House of Mystery radio show. To find out more about our guests, hosts, or shows, go to www.houseofmystery.com.
Show's over for now.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Well, good night.
This has been a production of Something Weird Media.
I'll be back.